All right. Well, good evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've got a packed house tonight here. Thank you for joining online as well, and hope everyone had a good holiday season. I know I did. Um, and with that, we'll get this thing underway. So, thanks for joining us for the Lakewood City Council meeting on this fifth day of January 2026. And we will start with our swearing-in ceremony for Ms. Bell Brandstetter and Mr. Lindholm and Ms. Talbot. And with that, Judge Tim Lewis, would you please join us? Thank you.
Oh, I can get the signatures. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'd like to extend some time to take some photos and everything. Well, now that we all are up here and sworn in, we can start with roll call. So Madam Clerk, if you please call roll.
Councilmember Bell,
Here.
Councilmember Boki,
Here.
Councilmember Brandstetter,
Here.
Councilmember Lauricella,
Here.
Councilmember Lindholm,
Here.
Councilmember Pearson,
Here.
and Councilmember Talbot. Here. You have a quorum?
Right, thank you. Now, if you'd all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, I would like to open the floor to nominations for the position of mayor.
I motion for Councilmember Boki as mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Lindholm. Nominating Mr. Boki for mayor.
I second that.
Thank you. Any other nominees? No. Seeing or hearing no other nominees, we will take a vote on appointing Mr. Boki as the next mayor of the City of Lakewood. All those in favor, say aye. Against? Nay? Oh, that passes, Mr. Boki. Please find your way down here.
Thank you very much. Mayor, I'd like to open the floor for nominations for deputy mayor. Councilmember Brandstetter.
Mr. Mayor, I nominate Councilmember Patty Bell for the position of deputy mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations for deputy mayor? And with that, we will take a voice vote. All in favor of Councilmember Bell to be deputy mayor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any nays? Okay, that's done. Ms. Bell?
No, we're back.
Hey. Thank you very much. So next is a proclamation declaring January 19th, 2026 as Martin Luther King Day, Dr. Martin Luther King Day Jr. Day of Service. So I'd like to call on Ms. Mary Moss, from the Lakewood Multicultural Coalition, to present the proclamation, and we will have time for a photo afterwards. So nice to see you again, Mary. It's been so long.
We only had 16 years together, right?
Right. Whereas Monday, January 19th, 2026 is designated as a federal holiday celebrating the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who dedicated his life to the fundamental principles of freedom, opportunity and equal justice to all. And whereas such recognition is a direct result of his many contributions to society through his deeds and words. And whereas through his March on Washington and the I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King reached a worldwide audience and was recognized by people from all walks of life as the conscience of an entire nation. And whereas all Americans are reminded that our nation recognizes that all men are created equal and should be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And whereas the city of Lakewood is committed to the ideas of a free society and is a community of great cultural diversity, which values and celebrates and is dedicated to the fraternity and community of all people. And whereas the city of Lakewood will again honor the distinguished legacy of Dr. King by uniting for a MLK Beloved Community celebration on Thursday, January 15th, 2026, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Pierce College, Fort Steilacoom in the Cascade Building. And whereas the event will feature performances, workshops, art displays, and hands-on activities for all ages. Now therefore, the Lakewood City Council hereby proclaims Monday, January 19th, 2026 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Day of Service in the City of Lakewood, and invites all residents to join us in his observance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure to accept this proclamation. And I want to say to the council members, thank you for the support that you gave in making this happen. We are welcoming the beloved community and the MLK. So we'd like to see all of you out to celebrate. It's always a lot of fun. And I accept this with pride. Thank you so much. I would like to also introduce some of my, the multicultural board members that came out to witness this tonight. Kimmy Gann is our general membership chair. Anessa McLeod is part of our board, and Judy Davis is part of our general membership. So thank you guys for coming out to support. The students representing, and then we ended up in public comment forums.
Okay, are they representing the youth council? So remember the date of that, January 19th. It's in the evening this year, and it's up at Pierce College. So the next is our youth council report. And so they've been very industrious group and very large group. So we have, I'm going to butcher these names, Alicia and Axel. How about that tonight? Is there a third person too? Alicia and Axel. So if you could come up and introduce yourselves, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Boki, Deputy Mayor Bell, and Council. My name is Axel Kavilis from Harrison Preparatory School, and in the Nature Informed Subcommittee, we have created nature mandalas and shared nature photos, and also dived into our notebooks. I will give the floor to Alicia Nacho.
Yes. Hello. My name is Leisha Nyanjo. I'm a junior at Harrison Prep, and more on that, we, in the Nature Informed community, we are dedicated to just preserving the nature, learning about our surroundings. So we take photos of the nature that's around us and just take in the moment to appreciate it. We created nature mandalas, which are similar to snowflakes, and we curated them with leaves. And then we have our journal prompts, and they're like wellness checks that we do together to just take a time to look on our day. Recently, in our previous meeting, we created cards for cards for hospitalized kids, and they really had good reception. And we also created food bags for the local homeless shelter, and they had some snacks and treats in them, and it was really good. We had a great time, and we're looking forward to meeting again within the next 2 weeks. Um, we are directed by Lisa Banks, and yes. Thank you. That's the end of our presentation. We are open to any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, the whole group, for all your efforts. Does anybody have any questions? Councilmember Bell or Deputy Mayor Bell?
Are we? Thank you, Mayor Boki. So will we be able to see your mandalas on display anywhere, or did you take photos of the completed projects? I'd love to see them.
Yeah, we do have photos. Do I just pass? How would I display them? The photos? Okay. I can share them with Miss Shannon, and then she can send them to you guys. We have them all in our group meet. Great. Any more questions?
Councilmember Lauricella.
Thank you, Mayor Boki. Not a question, just a thank you for your contributions to the community, helping hospitalized kids and reaching out to the homeless folks. I think you're doing amazing things and you represent the best of Lakewood with all of our students in the school district. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think that's it. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Okay, next is the Clover Park School District report. We have Brian Thomas, the board president, and he is here tonight. Thank you very much, Board Member Thomas.
Well, Mayor Boki and Deputy Mayor Bell, congratulations on your appointment, and also congratulations to our newest council members. Kind of relatively quiet in December for the school board, although we did swear in 2 members of the school board this past meeting. Dana Kelleher, who represents District 3, and Darren Lowry, who represents District 4. They were sworn in just before we went out for the holiday break. On behalf of the school board and the district, we'd like to thank a lot of civic organizations and nonprofits in the community that helped us through the holiday season with donating food and clothing and gifts and those things for our families during Christmas. As you know, the need was very great this year. And all of the civic organizations and those really helped out. We all know Diana Formosa and Caring for Kids and all the work that she does. And so it was rewarding to be out in the community helping those that needed help. Also, I wanted to let the community know that we have received a $190,000 grant from Pierce County to continue to fund our YMCA late night for kids. As you know, that's been going on for quite a while. And so that will allow us to continue that great program that's been going on for so long. And that's kind of it. Like I say, it was kind of relatively quiet December. Of course, kids are back in school as of today. Some parents might be happy about that. So we're getting ready to move full steam ahead with the agenda for the year. So with that, I'll take any questions anybody might have.
Thank you, Board President Thomas. Just to say, you made mention of Diane Formoso Caring for Kids, and their auction is coming up in the next month or two, sometime in February, I think, right?
Yes.
It's usually right around February. I don't have the date in front of me. Does anybody have any questions? Councilmember Brandstetter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thomas, you mentioned the grant that came from Pierce County to allow to support the late night activities at the YMCA. Is the grant this year going to be able to provide any help with transportation? That is something that is each year comes up as a
Yeah, unfortunately.
void. And I didn't know whether the grant this year made some allowance to fund some manner of that.
Yeah, I fortunately did not read that in the packet that I got, but that is something I certainly can go back and find out and report to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? Councilmember Lauricella.
Thank you, Mayor Boki. Expanding on the YMCA program that thankfully got extended, do you know if that is a year-round program or is it just summer evenings, or how does that work?
My understanding, unless I'm wrong, and again, I'll go back and check, it's year-round. Yep.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you very much, President Thomas. Thank you and the board for your efforts, and all the people at the school district who put in such hard work every day for our 12,000 or so students.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next is public comments. So public comments are accepted by mail, email, or by live, virtual, or in-person comment. Send comments in advance by mail or email to Brianna Schumacher, the city clerk, at 6000 Main Street Southwest, Lakewood, Washington, 98499, or B. Schumacher at cityoflakewood.us. Comments received up to 1 hour before the meeting have been provided to the City Council electronically. The clerk will read the names of those who have submitted comments in advance. Did we get any? I believe we did have some comments.
Mayor, we received written comments in advance from Stan Kovar and Don Russell.
Thank you very much. Please announce, or members of the audience may comment on items relating to any matter related to city business under the public comments period. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Virtual comments, if you'd like to provide live virtual public comments, you will need to join Zoom meeting as an attendee by calling the telephone number 1-253-215-8782 and enter meeting ID number 868-7263-2373, or visit zoom.us and enter a meeting ID 868-7263-2373. Upon entering the meeting, please enter your name, use the raise the hand feature to be called upon. For those participating by calling in by telephone, to use the raise the hand feature, press *9 on your phone. When you are unmuted, please provide your name and city of residence. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Outside of public comments, all attendees on Zoom will continue to have the ability to virtually raise your hand for the duration of the meeting. You will not be acknowledged and your microphone will remain muted except when you are called upon. So first, we would like this today, please call on those who are in person who have raised their virtual hand to, well, it says have raised virtual hand to speak. So we'll start with the in-person. I have 2 people on the list for in-person. And of course, after that, anybody is free to speak. Mr. Stan Kovar and I don't.
Kim Underwood, I believe.
Kim Underwood, okay. So Mr. Kovar first and Ms. Underwood, if you are available and like to speak after him. Mr. Kovar.
I live on American Lake And depending which way the wind blows, the water on my shoreline is stained pea soup green with toxic cyanobacteria. This bacteria generates potent liver and neurotoxins that are a danger to humans, to pets, to children, to grandchildren. Every winter, the lakeshore owners have to tell their family members and keep their pets off the beach because these poisons are deadly. Some years ago, they killed 5 pets. The treatments exist for this condition. Spanaway is putting in a system this coming summer by Pierce County. Lake Steilacoom successfully treats for this condition. Previous city administrations have rebuffed our attempts to get them to work with the shorefront owners to mitigate this problem. They've done 2 things. One is they've posted a sign at the boat launch saying, "Stay away from the green water, it's poisonous." The second thing they've done is to comply with state law. They have created a lake management district whose responsibility is to advise the city on recommendations to improve the lake. When that Lake Management District Advisory Board was launched, it was specifically instructed not to do anything about cyanobacteria. It was written into the legislation that it is illegal for them to deal with the most serious condition on the lake. The question that I have and a number of homeowners have is, will the city work with us in attempting to mitigate this before we have yet another health crisis? Mayor?
Yeah, this is an interrogatory, so we continue. You got 45 seconds left.
Well, I'll use my last 40 seconds to say how frustrating it's been to try and engage the city on what is known to be a very serious health issue. There was a public health crisis back in 1990. Big hubbub, health department was involved, and it just went away. We pay high property taxes, we vote. We should not have to warn our children and grandchildren to stay off the beach every winter. We should not have to keep our pets off the beach every winter. We need the city's help to work with the homeowners to mitigate this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kovar. Ms. Underwood, would you like to speak this evening? And anyone else who would like to speak this evening can line up at the podium, and you've got your 3 minutes.
James Dunlop, Lakewood resident. As I've said before, the most important role of a Lakewood councillor is to protect residents from the city bureaucracy. After all, bureaucracies are self-serving, as described by Patrick Dunleavy's bureau shaping model. This talks about a structural self-interest that can lead city administrations to shield bureaucratic turf instead of focusing on residents' needs. In Lakewood, city departments have helped make themselves relevant by expanding their operations, often at the expense of city residents. And while Lakewood has probably been on the decline since the building of the I-5, the slope has deepened since incorporation in 1996. You can see this decline in the environmental devastation in Woodbrook and Springbrook and the loss of some of Lakewood's historic landmarks, for example, the flea market and the Tensler Library. And all the while, Lakewood bureaucrats have sought large grants to supposedly improve the city, but so often it's about pouring concrete and boosting departmental status. The City Council is supposed to stand up for residents. Yet 4 of the 7 City Council members are municipal employees. They are used to working with other bureaucrats. They are used to towing the line. How, for example, could you possibly have expected the city to to stand up against the Pierce County Library System with regard to the closing of the Tensler Library. When in 2022, one of the council members was a direct employee of Pierce County and another was a former employee of the library system itself. I would therefore argue that the current council is institutionally compromised and is probably unfit for purpose. We also know that it is morally compromised because two of its members, including the new mayor, didn't take a stand when substantial sums were awarded against 3 Lakewood police officers following the killing of Leonard Thomas. Those officers should have resigned. And as we know, one of those officers went on to fatally shoot Saeed Wakim, which led to another multi-million-dollar settlement. And we now have possibly the weakest city council in Lakewood's history. While I was never a fan of the last 2 mayors, they at least had an aura of authority. That's gone, and more than ever, the city council is likely to become a mere publicity tool of the city bureaucracy.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Dunlap. Are there any more folks here in chambers that would like to speak? Any additional? Mr. Russell?
My name is Don Russell. I've lived in Lakewood for over 90 years. I've witnessed American Lake transition from a clear, pristine lake to a weed-infested, excessive fluctuations its water level, and toxic algae blooms have been going on for 35 years now. And I've seen the city ignore the input of those of us who have given our time over the years to monitor Wahop Lake, to monitor American Lake. I've written dozens of papers on Wahop. It's an aluminum sulfate, hydrogen sulfate, bubbling cauldron of methane gas, dead as a result of the city's decision to apply alum. American Lake is faring no better. We have 3 problems. One problem is its excessive fluctuation. The second one is the recurring cyanobacteria blooms every winter. And the third one is excessive aquatic weed growth. The American Lake Management District is not in compliance with the RCW 61.63010. I would suggest you look it up and read for yourself what it is that the city should be doing and it isn't doing. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Russell. Is there anybody else in chambers who would like to speak? Please state your name and city of residence. And
good evening. My name is Steve Garza. I'm also a resident of American Lake, and about the 4th row back here are all residents of American Lake. Now, what you've heard from these gentlemen is the foil problem, the milfoil problem, but it is also a risk to the security and safety of our boaters, as well as our property. My dock currently sits on the ground. It is a land bridge. It is not a dock, and it is getting punctured. Boaters, I am an experienced boater. I've been boating since I was 18 years old. There are several high spots on the lake that you can easily catch your prop. Myself, I live on American Lake. I'm a homeowner there. I boat there every day. This last year, I caught my prop on one of these high spots where the water levels are lower because the water levels are dissipating. And I'm an experienced boater. So for those that are out there and not experienced boaters, those high spots or low spots on the lake can easily tear a prop off, sinking a boat, causing damage to their property or death. So I would urge the council to please take this matter seriously. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garza. Is there anyone else here in chambers who would like to speak tonight? Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close comment on this, but we're going to continue on now to virtual comments. Ms. Schumacher?
First, we have Penny Crisia.
Ms. Crisia, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's actually Christina Minetti, but that's from my Polish class. I don't know why that's still on the
Okay.
sorry about that. That's my Polish name. So I have two comments, one from myself, not Pani Krysia, but Christina Minetti, and one from the Gary Oak Coalition. So the first one is from the nonprofit. As we begin in 2026, we urge the city to treat this year as a time for a reset, not just some superficial change couched in nice sounding words, but real change rooted in responsibility. Lakewood sits within a rare ecological region, and Gary Oaks are one of its defining features. These trees are ancient, slow-growing, and irreplaceable. They support an entire ecosystem and are a keystone species. On paper, they comprise critical areas. Yet they have been sacrificed in huge numbers, often for projects that were neither inevitable nor broadly supported, for warehouses and other developments that offered little benefit to residents while permanently annihilating oak habitat. This did not happen by accident. It reflects a planning culture that has grown too comfortable with developers and too willing to assume that Lakewood must accept the first proposal that comes along. The bar has been set far too low. We are made to believe that we cannot expect better, that we should be happy and proud that Lakewood is being destroyed in the name of some alleged tax dollars or better tax shelters. That same mindset appears in grant-driven planning. In their parting remarks, outgoing Mayor Jason Whalen and Deputy Mayor Mary Moss boasted about new sidewalks, roads, and park improvements as major successes. Many of those were grant-funded, and grants are, of course, easiest to obtain for pouring concrete. But planning cannot begin with a question of what money is available. It must begin with what is actually needed. Sidewalks and people-focused improvements were too often even installed where they were not truly necessary, or at an excessive scale, and even in some cases in neighborhoods like Woodbrook and Springbrook, in areas that were later leveled for warehouses, sidewalks for communities that were pushed out, infrastructure without people, with Oaks lost in the process. This year, we call on the city to invest seriously in public education about Gary Oaks through clear development standards, real enforcement, school programs, and signs, and to commit to planning that starts from the ground, not from aerial maps or developers' proposals. Council members, especially the new ones, raise that bar. Respect this city enough to fight for and protect what makes it livable. Once Gary Oaks are gone, no grant can replace them. And now my other comment from myself. Christina Minetti, Lakewood. Welcome to Council Members Talbot and Lindholm. Today, I'd like to pause for a few minutes, or force you to pause for a few minutes to consider public trust and the human cost of decisions made by the City of Lakewood in recent years. As you all know from research on these questions, in terms of democratic legitimacy, trust is even more important on the local level than on the national level. And the city has betrayed the public's trust in several important ways in recent years. First was the destruction of the Starlight Drive-In and beloved flea market, so important especially to the Hispanic community and a favorite of so many others. This came as Gary Oaks were being cut down on a mass scale, which also prompted outrage among many people, angry because they are supposed to be protected. And that continued, of course. Then the public's trust in the city was shaken by the confiscation and demolition of the Mir Jalili family's home, which was not a procedural failure. It was a profound injustice. A family lost its home and the city lost its credibility. That harm remains unaddressed. The same is true of the city's failure to act to prevent the demolition of the historic award-winning Tensler Library. I know you've heard this before. The city had options, including de-annexation, that could have provided leverage in negotiations with the Pierce County Library System. Instead, it chose inaction. The people of Lakewood were clear about how important that building was to them, and they were ignored. A beloved public building was lost as a result. These events are not isolated. They reflect a broader pattern of decision-making that has grown too cozy with developers and too dismissive of residents. We have seen neighborhoods replaced by warehouses with an unwanted mega car wash, umpteenth oil change shop, and mega apartment complex over Salmonburn Creek's headwaters that were all approved over community opposition, and apartment developments that inevitably add density without adding quality or grace. We wonder, can't there be anything nice in Lakewood anymore? At the same time, we are asked to celebrate grant-funded sidewalks, gutters, and dubious lighting as evidence of success, supposedly for the people, but then, as we saw in Woodbrook and Springbrook, these would be sidewalks not in leafy neighborhoods, but in concrete warehouse heat sinks. Planning cannot be driven by grants, and it cannot be driven by developers. The city cannot sell out Lakewood simply to keep itself in business. To the new council, you were not elected to carry out the previous council's torch. No matter who endorsed you or contributed to your campaign, you were elected to do better. Acknowledge the wrongs, change the culture here, and now put the people and environment first. That is how trust is rebuilt. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ms. Minetti. Are there any other people waiting online?
Mayor, there are no other virtual hands raised at this time.
Thank you very much. We'll close public comment for this evening. Next, we have the consent agenda. Ms. Schumacher, would you like to speak to the consent agenda? Do I have to?
Consent agenda A, approval of the minutes of the city council meeting of December 15th, 2025. B, approval of claims vouchers in the amount of $6,629,611.28 for the period of November 15th, 2025 through December 15th, 2025. C, approval of payroll checks in the amount of $3,446,119.42 for the period of November 16th, 2025 through December 15th, 2025. D, motion number 2026-01, authorizing the execution of an addendum to the agreement with AHBL to assist with on-call permit review. E, motion number 2026-02, authorizing the execution of an addendum to the agreement with Thompson Electrical Constructors for the electrical services project. F, motion number 2026-03, authorizing the execution of an addendum to the agreement with Keller Associates to assist in updating the Lakewood Municipal Code Title 12 and Engineering Standards Manual. G, motion number 2026-04, appointing Eric Schmidt to serve as the Washington Military Department at Camp Murray representative on the American Lake Lake Management District Number 1 Advisory Committee. H, items filed in the office of the city clerk. 1, American Lake Lake Management District Advisory Committee Number 1, minutes of July 16th, 2025. Community Services Advisory Board meeting minutes of July 23rd, 2025. 3, Community Services Advisory Board meeting minutes of August 28th, 2025. 4, Community Services Advisory Board meeting minutes of September 18th, 2025. And 5, American Lake Lake Management District Advisory Committee Number 1 meeting minutes of September 17th, 2025.
Thank you very much, Ms. Schumacher. Is there anyone who would like any item pulled from the consent agenda at this time? Okay. I'll entertain a motion then for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second. It has been properly moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Russell, is there any unfinished business this evening?
We do not have any unfinished business that I'm aware of. So would you like me to move on to manager report?
Yeah, well, we can just move down to the reports by the city manager if there's no new business or any unfinished business. There's nothing indicated in.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So just briefly, a few things coming up. Lake City Neighborhood Association on this Thursday. Next Tuesday, the Telecom Woodbrook Neighborhood Association. For those, we haven't not had anyone assigned to those, so if anyone's interested in joining those. Further next week, on the 14th, community conversation with Pierce County Councilor Jenny Hitchens. And then on the 15th, the beloved community celebration at Pierce College. Then the following week on the 21st and 22nd are city action days with the Association of Washington Cities. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. And where's I might have missed it. Where's the meeting with Councilmember Hitchin at?
I will pull that up. Lakewood Library.
Lakewood Library. Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the city manager? Questions, comments?
We're saying as well, for those who can't attend the in-person one from Councilmember Hitchens, there's also a Zoom one, I believe, that follows that. Is that correct?
It very well could be. I've not received that announcement.
Thank you much. Any other questions? Great. Yeah, we can't take public comment now. The public comment has been closed. So you can email us or talk to the city manager right after the meeting. That's probably the quickest way to get things done. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell. So, council member comments. So, I will start with Mr. Brandstetter, Councilmember Brandstetter tonight under council member comments.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I, looking forward to having a productive year, and of continuing to help the city evolve and become the place that the residents so want it to be. Okay, and of when there's not unanimity of being able to help doing that. There are a couple of comments that I'd want to make as relates to, we had some public comment regarding American Lake today. And I will say that, when we first created the Lake Management District, the issue that precipitated creating that organization was the presence of milfoil. And so that body has been focused on that somewhat successfully in terms of the reports that we have had from them. I was surprised by the public comment that indicated that the concerns about cyanobacteria was a topic that was provided to that group advisory committee as off limits to talk to, and I'd really like to get some confirmation of how that is, particularly since in our study session next week, we were going to be talking about the advisory committees and that, and not just our liaison relationships with them, but there are work plans for each committee to be approved. And so it would be helpful to know whether there is, because American Lake is a multi-jurisdictional lake, federal jurisdiction, some county jurisdiction, so that city of Lakewood jurisdiction, if there is in fact some legal impediment for that committee to go forward, or to whom it is. We just appointed a new member to that today, which indicates the fact that there is maybe he was from the state as a property owner, and he had some status to that and to go on. But I think it's something that we should we can look to decide what the parameters are when we approve a work plan for that group to be able to go and do that. And if we have inadvertently, even though we would have been able to allow them to address an item like the cyanobacteria problem to do that. I know in the past year, we have dealt with issues about what role could the city take regarding the regulating of the lake level, and that has moved from us not having that authority to Pierce County reconsidering what authority they have, where they had been doing that to some extent, and have kind of determined that they really aren't supposed to be dealing with the lake level now to be able to go and do that. And we can maybe get an update on where the agencies that are able to deal with the things that can control the lake level to the extent that that is doable, to go on, to move on. Let me just further talk about the work plans for advisory committees that we're going to approve. Advisory committees are filled with people who are volunteering their time and who have a particular interest in an area that does that, and they have served us well over the years in terms of both sorting through alternatives for the city to act and to look to be able to go and do. I do think that this year, when we get around to discussing the work plans of the advisory committees, one event that is happening this year is in 2026 is the city's vision is expiring. The city's vision is, what will the city look like in 2026? And so I think that we need to take a look in the work plans and about each different group about how they can make recommendations if we're going to make a new vision that's going to cover another 15 years, because that's what we did with the last vision. We used a 15-year time frame to be able to go and do that. And so I'm going to think, and I would encourage my other council members to think about what kind of input they would like to have, because I don't think the vision is something that we just edit and move it ahead, because I think that there are new things we'd like to see that we have heard over the years, different iterations of the vision from the public. And maybe there are new details, and we've got some on this board that there is well, I was here for the adoption of the current vision, that I do see that creating a new vision statement to go forward another 15 years is kind of a piece of parchment that we can work on. It isn't just to wordsmith the current one and change the date from 30 years to 40 years, and to be able to go and do that. And then the last thing that I will mention, and I think that this will probably be new, but that each year for the past 9, we have partnered with the Lakewood First Lions Club to provide a scholarship to the city's nominee for and the Association of Washington Cities Quality Community Scholarship. And we sort of did that after a first couple of years of where we had someone get a scholarship at AWC, but then we had someone who didn't, and and we didn't want to have the case of where they didn't get anything. And so the Lions Club has allocated in their budget $375 that will be used to match whatever donations that we as council members individually do that. And I sort of make this ask every year, but we're getting ready here in the next few weeks to submit the nomination of the the young person that we're going to nominate going forward based on the advice of the underclassmen on the youth council. And so, to the extent that any of you have a donation to make towards that scholarship that we will award at the city level, yeah, I'd gladly accept the check made out to the Lakewood First Lions Club, who will then manage the scholarship award. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Brandstetter, and thank you for every year taking on that, with the Lakewood First Lions Club on that scholarship. We've had several winners. It's been really, really neat. Councilmember Laura Sella.
Thank you, Mayor Boki. It is great to be back and to see this group here. I've missed a number of you, and it's good to see some fresh faces, so welcome. Some big changes, right? I was thinking about it, we've got 4 new council members over the past 2.5 years. So that's significant, including the new mayor, new deputy mayor. So I'm excited for the new perspectives and new priorities. I think the future looks bright and positive from everyone's smiling faces. I look forward to us having our retreat in the next couple of months to really define priorities for this council. I think that's really important, and it really sets our direction and the city's direction for the rest of the year. I wanted to thank folks for showing up for public comment. I appreciate that they hold us and city staff accountable, so keep it up. It's an important part of our democracy, so I appreciate it. And then finally, I will plan to attend the Tillicum Woodbrook Neighborhood Association meeting next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Pearson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd also address just one of the comments from tonight about the trees preservation and those efforts that we do. When you think about what goes into the comprehensive plan, the code changes, we have a tree canopy, all of these new things that we've passed over the past few years. Not to mention the downtown, plan and these different sub areas where we're trying to focus development. Those really do, preserve the other areas of Lakewood that folks I think are targeting as, let's kind of keep Lakewood, right? And so I think that we have made some good strides there. There's obviously more work to be done, but I think that we are on the right track there, and I hope that folks can recognize some of that work that we've done. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Pearson. Councilmember Talbot.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd really just like to express some deep appreciation, respect, and gratitude to you all on this council and former members as well, and especially to City Manager Russell and Assistant Manager Kraus and staff for the warm welcome and really helping us newbies get acclimated and oriented. I look forward to serving with this team and working with our staff. And along those lines, I also would like to congratulate and welcome aboard our new leadership in our public information, communications, and parks departments. I really look forward to working with our new staff and our team in completing and hearing more updates about the legacy plan. I think that I look forward to how the legacy plan really sets the city up with the expiring vision, as Mr. Brandstetter mentioned, and how it really sets us up for a foundation for a beautiful park system and a real civic vision going forward for the next 20 years and beyond. So I look forward to that. And also to piggyback a little bit sideways on Mr. Brandstetter's comments, I also look forward to hearing some update about the forgive me if I get the alphabet soup incorrect here, but the Natural Environment Citizens Council or Committee. I think that, so Councilmember Lindholm and I got a little bit of a snapshot briefing of this committee serving on Planning Commission. I was happy to and pleased to hear that we are shifting and giving some focus to our natural resources. And I also think that this committee can be an opportunity to just to have some broader conversation, maybe in a different way or a different framework, about things like water quality, air quality, all the land and water issues that we deal with here in Lakewood. So I look forward to those updates as well. And finally, I just want to say too, having grown up here in Lakewood, Lakewood is a special place for me because it's a place where it's been a place of first time moments for everything. It's where I learned to tie my shoes in preschool. It's where I learned to ride a bike for the first time. It's where I learned to swim, swimming lessons in the Clover Park High School pool. And it's where I learned to read at Dower Elementary and check out a book and drive a car and learn stick shift in the parking lot of Lakes. And so, and even get my first tattoo. And, but all to say that to come back to my hometown and to come full circle in this way of sorts, and serve with you all and serve our city together is a true honor for me and very special and something that I don't take lightly. I take very heavy to heart. So thank you again and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilmember Talbot. Councilmember Lindholm.
Thank you, Mayor Boki. I stand here or sit here like Councilmember Talbot, very grateful. Grateful for all of you for showing up tonight. Grateful for the trust placed in me by the community and grateful for the welcome received by council. I'll be brief in just saying I'm very excited to do the work our neighbors expect of us and from learning from the experience and the institutional knowledge of this succession.
Thank you, Councilmember Lindholm. Deputy Mayor Bell.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Here's a pro tip. Only 3 mics can be on at once. So you guys have to make sure you turn yours off. There you go. Pro tip. I know.
Great.
Thank you, Mayor. And I want to thank my fellow council members for the nomination for Deputy Mayor. I am looking forward to it. And I would just want to say thank you for putting your trust and faith in me. And so with that, I also want to welcome our new council members. Very excited to have you both here and look forward to seeing what we can all achieve together. So I appreciate that a lot. And then thank you to our audience for the public comment. It's always great to hear things that we may or may not know or something that we need to look into a little bit more. So I appreciate you all coming and doing that. And then, of course, our youth council, that is something that is very close to my heart. My daughter, who is in the youth council, was here. She quickly left as soon as I was done with my part. But I think our youth council is just continuing to do wonderful, great things. And that's pretty much it for me, Mr. Mayor. So thank you and welcome to you and congratulations to you also.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Bell. Just to wrap up, first of all, thank you for your support for me to become mayor tonight. I really do appreciate it. I hope I'm worthy of it, or I'll prove myself worthy of it. Tonight was a really great example. You saw there's a couple comments tonight about public comment and the importance of public comment, because I'll tell you, I'm with Councilmember Brandstetter. When we passed that American Lake Management District, I thought they had broad powers to kind of take care of everything. There was the one specific item, milfoil, that we discussed at length, and we accepted the recommendations of city staff to do this, but I was not aware that they couldn't take care of these other things. So I think we do need an update on that as soon as possible so that we can begin that process of having to maybe change that charter if we have to. I don't know all the ins and outs of doing that, but I think that would be important. I think there's a lot of great issues in front of us. It made mention there's a Parks Legacy Plan. We're on our 30th anniversary as a city. I wasn't here the date when they Lakewood became a city. But I moved here in 1998, and I feel as though we have made incredible progress. And part of that is because we take lots of input in, we have lots of ideas, and we have a very good staff. So I really do appreciate everybody's efforts and efforts going forward. I believe next week, besides talking about the advisory committees, which were mentioned also, and the importance of the advisory committees and the good work that those folks do on those advisory committees, and the very important work. And a number of you have been on advisory committees already before you came to the council. So we'll discuss that about liaisons to those committees, and I believe we're going to look at outside committees also, and so I'd like you to be thinking about that. And if you have any questions, you can call the city manager, you can call myself, and we can discuss it. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll have to adjust this chair because I think the last mayor was a little shorter or something, so it's up a lot more. I feel like my head's way up here. So with that, thank you very much, and we are adjourned.